When I look back at that night, I can still feel the nervous energy that filled my apartment. It was one of those moments that define who you are, the kind where fear and courage meet halfway and ask, are you really ready for this? My name is Samantha Brooks, but everyone calls me Sam. I was 29, living in Austin, Texas, working as a freelance designer. From the outside, my life looked fine: creative job, cozy apartment, a small group of friends who cared. But inside, I felt stuck. It was like I'd built invisible walls around myself, walls of fear, hesitation, and the constant belief that I wasn't enough. I had dreams, big ones, of building my own design studio, of collaborating with other creatives, of hosting art nights that celebrated diversity and emotion. But each time I thought about it, the same thoughts crept in: what if you fail? What if nobody comes? And that's when the idea hit me: what if I tested myself instead of doubting myself? I decided to do something I'd never done before: invite people over for a creative challenge, people I admired but also feared a little because they represented everything I wasn't: confident, outspoken, talented, and brave. Those people were Tyler, Lena, and Marcus, 3 artists I'd met in different circles. Tyler was a photographer known for capturing the human soul through a lens. Lena was a painter who filled her canvases with light. And Marcus, he was a musician whose songs made you remember what it meant to feel alive. Scene 1. The invitation. I sat on my couch one evening, laptop open, cursor blinking on an empty group chat I'd just created, Creative Limits Experiment. My fingers hovered over the keyboard as I typed out the message. Greater than, hey guys, I've got an idea. Let's meet this weekend at my place. Bring something that represents who you are creatively. No rules, no judgment, just expression. I want to test my limits, and maybe we'll all learn something. I stared at the message for a full minute before hitting send. My heart raced. What if they thought it was stupid? But within minutes, the replies came. Tyler: I'm in. Sounds like a cool idea. Lena: ooh, mysterious. I like it. Count me in. Marcus: testing limits. I'm game. That's when I knew there was no turning back. Scene 2. The preparation. All week, I couldn't think of anything else. I cleaned my apartment like a woman possessed, rearranged furniture, set up a small corner with paints, candles, and a whiteboard. I wanted the space to feel open, safe, and inspiring. But as the day approached, anxiety started creeping in. What if they think I'm weird? I whispered to my reflection in the mirror that Friday night. The reflection smiled nervously back. You wanted to test your limits, Sam, I told myself. This is it. Scene 3. The arrival. Saturday night arrived. My heart thudded in my chest as the doorbell rang. Tyler was first, tall with his camera bag slung over one shoulder. He grinned. You look ready to conquer something big. Lena came next. Colorful dress, wild curls, carrying a small box of paints. And finally, Marcus walked in, guitar case in hand, easy smile on his face. So what's the plan, mastermind? I laughed, even though my palms were sweating. We're going to create something together, but first, we talk about what scares us. Their smiles faded a little, replaced by curiosity. Scene 4. Breaking the ice. We sat in a circle on the living room floor. I lit a few candles and played soft jazz in the background. I'll start, I said. I'm afraid of failure. I've got talent but never enough confidence to show it. I wanted to do this to push past that. Tyler nodded. I'm afraid of losing meaning in my work. I take pictures that get likes, but I don't feel proud anymore. Lena sighed. I'm scared of being ordinary. I paint so much, but lately, I feel like I'm copying myself. Marcus strummed a chord softly. I'm afraid of being forgotten. Music is my everything, but sometimes I wonder if anyone would miss it if I stopped. For a few moments, none of us spoke. It was as if we'd just opened a door we didn't realize was locked. Scene 5. The challenge. Okay, I said, standing up. Now, we create something that represents our fear, but we'll do it together. One piece. All 4 of us. We spent the next hours mixing our crafts. Tyler set up his camera. Lena laid out her paints. Marcus tuned his guitar. I grabbed my sketchbook. We decided to create a living portrait, a combination of art, sound, and motion. Tyler photographed us as we painted on a shared canvas while Marcus played an improvised melody. I drew abstract shapes that connected all of it. It was chaos, beautiful chaos. Paint splattered, music rose, laughter echoed. For the first time in years, I wasn't overthinking. I was living in the moment. Scene 6. The unexpected silence. When we finally stopped, the room fell silent. The canvas before us was unlike anything any of us had ever made. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Tyler looked at it and whispered, "That's fear transformed." Lena nodded, wiping paint from her cheek. "It's us. Raw and honest." Marcus strummed one last note and said softly, "I think you passed your test, Sam." I smiled, tears welling up. "I think we all did." Scene 7. The reflection. After they left, I sat alone, staring at the canvas. The room smelled of paint and candle wax. That night, I realized something powerful. Testing your limits isn't about proving your strength to others. It's about showing yourself what you're capable of when you stop letting fear drive. The next morning, I took a picture of the canvas and uploaded it to my social media with the caption, "Greater than, we all have limits, but sometimes they're just lines we drew ourselves." It went viral, not because it was perfect, but because it was honest. Scene 8. The change. Weeks later, that night became the foundation for something new. I launched The Limit Project, a monthly event where artists of all kinds came together to create, share, and face their fears through art. Tyler became my photography partner, Lena helped design the space, and Marcus performed live music at every event. People came from across the city, some nervous, some excited, all ready to test their limits, just like I once did. Scene 9. The speech. A few months later, I stood on stage at a small gallery in Austin, microphone in hand. Dozens of people watched me. I took a deep breath and said, "A few months ago, I was afraid of failing. But failure isn't what happens when you fall short, it's what happens when you never try." Tonight, you've all proven that courage is louder than fear. The crowd clapped, and I saw Tyler, Lena, and Marcus smiling in the front row. Scene 10. The new beginning. After the event, we stood outside under the soft glow of city lights. Marcus grinned. "So, what's next, Sam?" I looked up at the stars and said, "Next, we keep testing. Not to find our limits, but to move beyond them." That night, as I walked home, I realized I'd finally found what I'd been missing, not perfection, not success, but purpose. And that, I thought, was the greatest test I'd ever passed.